We start off with this grumpy old fart entering a bank. The soy-faced nerd on the reception asks him to sit and wait, so he throws his ass on the chair. Then the nerd's like, "You can go now." Shit. This guy Chuck tells Joe Biden that his mortgage rates are up. Joe's like, "What? But how? You see these random numbers on the screen?" "Yeah, that's about it." "This is all your fault." "I know, and I don't give a shit." The conversation gets interrupted by 3 armed men who start robbing the bank. Joe wants to give the robber his wallet, but the guy's like, "Nah, I respect old people and shit." But he does rob Chuck cause he's a cunt and he deserves it. Chuck pisses himself, which means that he's also a pussy. Joe notices a Genghis Khan tattoo on the guy's neck. The robbers do their job and swiftly leave. Then Joe looks at them like, "Damn, robbing banks slaps. I should try it sometimes." He testifies to the FBI and tells them about the tattoo. He goes, "I've seen this in movies. You find a tattoo artist, you find a suspect." "Look, old man, it's not that simple, okay? We find a tattoo artist, we find a suspect. It's that simple." What a prick. By the way, the FBI agent announcing on TV about his investigation plan is a next level stupid. He really thinks the criminals don't watch TV? They'll definitely whack that hypothetical tattoo artist. Next up, we have Joe hanging out with his 2 friends, Willie, played by Morgan Freeman, and Albert, played by Jason Statham. So they receive mails from their pension fund, and turns out that the company they've been working for 30 years outright fucked them in their asses. This douchebag business guy is like, "Sorry, but no pensions for you. You know how it works. Evil capitalism and shit." So Joe stands up and goes,
I was going to foot him,
The next day, Willie visits a doctor and turns out that one of his kidneys has been expired, so he needs a new one, but he decides to stay quiet about it because he doesn't want to ruin anyone's mood. Then we see the 3 friends doing old guy stuff, eating pie, talking to their grandkids, watching some porn. While having a dinner, Joe tells Willie and Al that he's thinking about robbing a bank, but they're like, "Yeah, right, whatever." No, guys, seriously, I mean, think about it. We're old and poor. Even if we get caught, we'll get a free meal and a place to stay. Willie gets somewhat interested in the offer, but Al is like, "Fuck no, you guys are crazy." The same night, Willie calls Joe and goes, "You seriously want to rob a bank?" "Yeah, man, we got nothing to lose anyway." Then they wake up Albert like, "We're doing it. We're gonna rob a bank. Are you in?" "No, I'm not." "Shut the fuck up, Al. It's not a question. You're in." And so an idea was born. The next day, Joe and Willie decide to practice their bank robbing skills on a local supermarket. They try to steal some groceries while Albert is supposed to be the getaway driver, but he puts hose before bros and gets distracted by this MILF. Joe decides to find an alternative transport and steals a mobility scooter from some old hoe. He and Willie try to flee from this security guard while Al is being chased by another one. He's like, "Wait, fuck off, Ching Chang. Stop, make me, you pussy. I'll tase you." "Okay, Captain Chopsticks, you got me." Meanwhile, Joe and Willie are in a hot pursuit with this chick who runs like Steven Seagal. They try to get rid of her with any means possible, but the bitch is persistent. Eventually, they all get caught and brought to justice. The store manager is like, "What the fuck, you guys? Why would you do that?" "We're sorry." "Yeah, we didn't mean to." But Albert goes, "I didn't do shit. Fuck you all, and fuck this samurai cop." The manager lets them go with a warning. Albert starts bitching like, "This is all your fault. You guys suck." "Shut the fuck up, Al." "Yeah, shut up, Al." So Joe and Willie decide to get a professional help. Turns out Joe knows a guy who knows another guy who might be able to help them. Meanwhile, Albert smashes that meal from the supermarket. Then he joins the boys in a cafeteria all happy like, "What up, losers? Guess who got laid last night?" They read in a newspaper that the company which was supposed to manage their pensions is using that money to pay off some company debt. So Albert goes, "That does it. Let's rob this bank." The boys visit this Mexican dude Jesus who runs a dog shelter and apparently works part-time as a bank robbery consultant. They ask him to help them for 25% of the cut, but he's like, yeah, you're old as fuck. Go home, take a nap or something. Leave bank robberies to real gangsters." "Listen, cunt, when I was out there doing gangster shit, you hadn't even left your dad's scrotum. So do me a favor, shut your fucking face. You can either help and get 25%, or you can kiss my wrinkly old ass." "Fine, I'll help. Just don't show me your ass." The boys get high, have a dinner, and start planning the robbery. They get some intel on the bank, exercise, practice some shooting, learn how to steal a car, and come up with a perfect alibi. On the day of the heist, all 3 of them go to some fundraiser fair where they get dressed up and drive to the bank. By the way, it's the same bank that was robbed in the beginning of the movie. They also take blank bullets just in case, cause, you know, killing is bad and shit. The trio goes in, locks the doors, and is like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Listen, motherfuckers, this is a robbery. Everybody down. So Al is watching over the door while Joe and Willie are taking the cash. This little girl is like, hey mister, you can have my doll. Oh, thank you sweetheart, but I don't need your gay ass doll. Then Willie almost passes out because of his kidney problem. The kid notices Willie's watch with his granddaughter's pictures on it. Joe gets there and helps him. Meanwhile, Chuck, the cunty manager, takes this guard's gun and starts shooting at boys but misses every shot. Then Albert shoots him, so he's like, oh my god! Oh my god! The gang leaves the bank before the cops arrive. They give the cash to Jesus so that he can legalize it or something. Then they all get back to the fundraiser fair like they haven't even left. Same evening, the boys celebrate their victory in a restaurant, but Willie's kidney situation gets bad, so he ends up in a hospital. Meanwhile, the FBI releases the robbery footage on TV so that fat manager from the supermarket recognizes Albert running in that video and snitches on them. FBI detains the trio and starts interrogating them, but turns out everything was well planned and they all have perfect alibi. Feds bring in that little girl with a gay-ass doll to see if she can recognize any of the suspects. The girl looks at them one by one, then stops at Willie. She clearly recognizes his watch, but tells the cops that she doesn't know any of them cause she ain't no snitch. Jesus gives the money back to Joe. Joe's like, "Did you take your cut?" "Nah, not from you." "Why?" "Cause I respect old people and shit." Wow, plot twist. So it turns out it was Jesus that robbed the bank in the beginning of the movie, and that Genghis Khan tattoo on his neck was fake so that the police will be distracted by it. In the end, Joe shares some money with other old people, Albert gives his kidney to Willie, marries to that MILF from the supermarket, and they all live happily ever after until few months later Al dies from an explosive diarrhea.